continue now at the top of Daf Ayin Beis Amud Aleph from Meseches Eruvin. This is Eruvin Daf 72a. The Gemara here is in the middle of a machlokas amoroim in order to understand the machlokas tanoim of Rabbi Meir and the Rabbanan. Rabbi Meir is strict. He says you're not allowed to have a shitufei mavos count also for your eruvei chatzeros and vice versa. And the Chacham say no, it's fine, it's not a problem. You can just do one. Let's say just do a shitufei mavos, and that will count for your eruvei chatzeros. So now the Gemara says v'chad Omar. In one Amor's opinion, it's as follows. If you tried to make, let's say, a shitufei mavos with wine, and you wanted it to count for your chutzner, for sure would not work. Everybody agrees that in that situation, you're going to need to make an eruv as well, because as we said, wine does not work for an eruvei chatzeros. So Rashi says, when it comes to wine, even the Rabbanan admit, we do not rely on the wine for the chutzner. We don't say migo that it works for the mavui. It's going to work for the chutzner also. Ki pligi b'pas. And according to this Amor, the whole machlokus is by bread. Rashi here explains, Ki pligi b'pas, pligi bein b'shituf bein b'erev. The machlokus is both by shituf or erev. Whether a shituf would work for an erev or an erev would work for a shituf. To Rabbi Meir, ein somchen al zeh v'makom zeh. According to Rabbi Meir, you're not allowed to rely on one and not do the other. According to the Rabbanan, they're mekel. So now the Gemara says, Meisvei, we ask the following question. The Chachamim omrim oma arvin oma shtatvin. The language of the Chachamim was, they say either make an erev, or you could do a shituf. You just need to do one. You don't need to do both. So the Gemara infers, my lav oma arvin b'chotzer b'pas oma shtatvin b'mavi b'yayin. Doesn't that phrase mean either do an erev in the chotzer with bread, or do a shituf in the mavi with wine? It's two separate phrases. Probably means two separate things. That would indicate that the Chachamim are lenient in both scenarios. Gemara says not necessarily. Amar Rav Gidol Amar Rav. Rav Gidol says in the name of Rav. Hachi Gomer. Here's what it means. O ma'arvin b'chotzer b'pas u'motar kan v'kan. Either do it in the chotzer with bread, and that works everywhere. O mishtatzvin b'mavi b'pas, or do it in the mavi with bread u'motar kan v'kan, and it will work everywhere. It doesn't necessarily need to mean wine. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. In any case, Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav, halacha k'Ravi Meir. The halacha is like Rabbi Meir. Rav Huna Amar minhag k'Ravi Meir. Rav Huna says the minhag is like Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yochanan Amar noagu ha'am k'Ravi Meir. Rabbi Yochanan says that the people have a custom to be strict like Rabbi Meir. Rashi here explains, as he's explained a number of times in the Masechet, Hilchasa u'minog v'nagu b'perik basra d'tainis. Those terms are explained in the last parak of Tainis Mefurish as follows: Halacha darshinan b'pirka, halacha k'Ravi Meir. Halacha means that in the drasha we darshan publicly that halacha is like Rabbi Meir. Minhag means medrash lo darshinan oroye morina liyachid habali malach. It means we don't darshan it publicly, but if an individual comes and asks us, that's what we tell him. And nohagu means oruye nami lo morina. We don't even tell people to do that. V'yavid lo machinan, but it's just we don't protest if that is what they do. The Gemara continues with the Mishnah, Chamisha chabura sheshavsu b'traklin echad. Let's say you have 5 groups, and they have their residence in one traklin, like in one hall, one big area. Beishamai omrim erev l'chol chabura v'chabura. Beishamai say they're all independent, and they all have to contribute to the erev separately. Well, Beisil say, no, erev echad l'kulan. The fact that they're in one traklin makes them all one. They just have one erev for all of them. Umodim, now Beis Hillel admit, bisman shemiksasan shruyin b'chadorim o ba'aliyos. If some of them are in their own rooms or their own upper floors, shein tzrichan erev l'chol chabura v'chabura. In that case, they're independent. Then you're going to need an erev for every chabura. Rashi here explains, b'traklin echad v'chol l'chamish. It's divided up into 5 sections. V'kulan yeshlan pesach min atraklin l'chotzer. Everyone's got their own entrance to the chotzer. B'tzarich la'ariv im shar b'nei chotzer. And of course, they need to make an erev with the other people who live in the chotzer. So Beis Shammai Omer Mishri Yosein Chalukin. Every single group needs to put in their own bread for the erev. It's no different than 5 separate houses. Let's say they just want to carry within the traklin from one to the other. They're also going to need an erev according to Beis Shammai. According to Beis Hillel, it's not a real mechitza, it's not a real division, as we're going to see. It's a mechitza shveil, it's a low mechitza. Kedemefarish begamara hilkach. Erev echad l'kul, and therefore it's all one erev. Uvesocha traklin nami motzin mizu lozu below erev. Also within the traklin itself, they don't even need an erev. You can carry from one section to the other. Shat traklin mechaber, and the traklin joins them all together. V'kevan d'meinei and ein tzarich erev nasa echad me'en shliach l'kul. And since they don't need to make an erev between them, they can have one of them be a shliach for all of them. Ta'aminu l'kaman, as we say l'ran chamisha shagavu as Eruvin. If 5 people collect an erev, meaning kolomar sheshruyin mechamisha batim mechotzer v'erev b'neiim. Let's say 5 people live in 5 houses in a chutzner, and they make an erev, they now become one. And now if they want to go make an erev with another group, so then they can just do one time. Beis Hillel says, that we admit if they're in independent rooms. To have a look, hey batim, then already it's like 5 houses. V'lo damu lo shagavu as a Eruvin. It's no longer similar to 5 people who collected an eruv sharei lo eruv beinim because they haven't actually made an eruv among them. The Gemara now says, Amar of Nachman says, Machlokas b'mesipas. Now in the next Gemara, we're going to see numerous explanations of what exactly the case is here in this tractate. How are the sections divided? So Rav Nachman says like this, the Machlokas is by a Mesipis. A Mesipis is a low mechitza. Rashi says, B'sherushu yosein chalukos b'mesipis mechitza nemucha shel chatichas eitzim. It's a low mechitza of cut wood. The hasam lebeis hillel bayis echadu. In that case, it's considered one house according to Beis Hillel. V'dama lehesha gavo seirum v'dani nami kimi sheir v'udami. It's as if it's the same thing as 5 people who would unite through an eruv. That's the machlokas is by a mesipis. Aval b'mechitza asara. But if you would have a 10 tvachim high mechitza, divrei hakol eruv l'chol chabur v'chabur, that is certainly a separation, and you need to have an independent eruv for each group. Ika diamri, some have a different version of Rav Nachman. Amar Rav Nachman says, Af b'mesipas machlokas. The machlokas is even by mesipus. Rashi explains that. Af b'mesipas machlokas. The lo tema Beis Shammai b'mechitza asaru hu da'asri over mesipus modu. Don't think that Beis Shammai admit by mesipus. They don't. Ela afilu b'mesipus nami asri. Even by mesipus, Beis Shammai is strict. So according to the second version of Rav Nachman, there's a machlokas by something more than a mesipus. We'll see the Gemara as we go on. There's a case more than a mesipus that's a machlokas Beis Shammai Beis Hillel, but even by mesipus, Beis Shammai is still strict and says they're divided up. Now the Gemara says, Pligi bar Rabbi Chia Rabbi Shimon Rebbe. Now there was also a machlokas between Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Shimon, the son of Rebbe, about this. Chad amar machlokas b'mechitzas ha'magios l'tikra. One opinion is the machlokas is by walls that reach the roof. Aval mechitzas she'ein magios l'tikra. But if the walls that separate the different sections don't reach the roof, divrei hakol eruv echad l'kul, and everyone agrees they're all one. They just make one eruv. The Chad amar, the other opinion says machlokas b'mechitzas she'ein magios l'tikra. No, the machlokas is when you have walls that don't reach the roof. Aval mechitzas ha'magios l'tikra. But if the walls reach the roof, divrei hakol tzrich an eruv l'chol chabur v'chabur. Everyone agrees they're separate, and you need an eruv for each group. So here you have already a number of different opinions of exactly what the machlokas is between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, and the Gemara in the next Amud, we'll see in the next video, is going to discuss exactly which opinion is correct based on proofs, and we'll see that in the next video on Daf Ayin Beis Amud Beis.